What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm sure by now you guys have heard the rumor that with Season 5 of Modern Warfare 2, we are going to receive operator skins for 21 Savage and Nicki Minaj. Now, the funny thing here is I heard about this a few weeks ago, and I kind of threw it under speculation and didn't believe that it was real, but sounds like it's going to be real. Sounds like it's going to be happening. Now, the interesting thing here is that yesterday I talked about how I would like to see more collaborations that are fun for the community being put into Call of Duty, similar to what Dead by Daylight's been doing with Nicolas Cage. It's something fun, it's something different, and frankly, it's not to be taken too seriously, whereas this collaboration just feels more of the same for what Call of Duty's been doing. It's not something to be celebrated. It's more just tying into their current seasonal structure, and it's just kind of gonna miss the mark. I would love if the 21 Savage and Nicki Minaj collaboration worked within the aesthetic and the themes and the identity of Call of Duty, but I'm skeptical that it will. You know, the track record of Modern Warfare 2, the track record of Call of Duty as of late is to consistently inject things that go against that aesthetic, go against that theme, go against that identity of what older games had. And I kind of miss the days of older Call of Duty. That's what's so enjoyable about going back and playing the old MW2s, the old Black Ops 1, is those games stick and adhere to a very strict identity, and it works because of that. It's not like the current run of games that just don't have this identity. They're so loosely themed that it makes it very difficult to get immersed within the world because you have so many different collaborations all clashing against each other, and it just works to make the game's value worse overall. I think this would fit perfectly into a aesthetic or an identity of a game that was a nitty-gritty war simulation arcade shooter, but unfortunately when you integrate superheroes, household animals, and wolves into the game, it really destroys that aesthetic. It destroys that identity. There's none of that there. So this is just more of the same from Call of Duty, and this is exactly why it's so hard to get excited about Modern Warfare 3, why it's going to be so difficult for me to immerse myself at all into the hype of Modern Warfare 3, because I just don't think that the community is ready to rally behind that, and why should they? Activision hasn't shown us that they're willing to make the necessary changes to their current line of games to enhance them in any way, shape, or form. You know, they pulled the good guy Greg move by going back and making their older games playable on the Xbox systems, but that didn't change the fact that the games had been unplayable for so long. It doesn't change the fact that on PC and on PlayStation, they still remain unplayable for the mass majority of players. It still doesn't change the fact that their current run of games are poorly handled and are completely missing the mark and are just lazy. This is the same argument we've been making for months now. It's very clear to everybody within the Call of Duty community, at least those who I follow in the echo chamber that I'm in, and that Activision and Infinity Ward have become lazy. And what's going to stop Sledgehammer Games from also being lazy when Activision looks at the formula that has worked for Modern Warfare 2 and says, just copy and paste it into Modern Warfare 3, and it's once again going to make you a bunch of money, and the developers that should be pouring their heart and soul into the game kind of get that ripped out in exchange for a paycheck. And that's the disappointing part here, is that I think there's talented developers at both Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer Games. However, I think they're restricted because of the fact that the paycheck they get for just rinse and repeating the same type of content over and over again is too high for them to turn down in favor for their own creativity. And it's disappointing that that's what Activision's traded in. They've traded in creativity for a really easy paycheck. And it's hard to fault some of the developers, but at the same time, you'd love some pushback by studio heads to Activision to say, hey, you know, this isn't great for the ecosystem of the game. This isn't great for the game's future. It feels as if right now those in charge at studios like Sledgehammer Games and Infinity Ward are a bunch of yes men to Activision because they're more driven by greed than they are driven by good game design. I've said that line so many times, I can't even... It's just burned into my memory now, because that's what Activision's turned into. So to move back to the point of 21 Savage and Nicki Minaj being in the game, is it inherently bad? No. Is it a weird collaboration? Sure. Could it work under a certain aesthetic and theme? 100%. But it also needs to be marketed better. It also needs to be pushed out to the community better. And this is something that I want to explore in a further commentary, where I talk a little bit more about how Call of Duty's missed the mark with their seasonal release schedules for their content drops. This should be something that we look forward to. It should be released alongside new music, or it should give players the opportunity to access new music by these artists if you purchase their skin. But instead, it's not going to be anything cool like that. It's not going to be anything unique or innovative. It's just going to be the same thing we've seen before. The same thing that was wasted with the Call of Duty FC stuff. The same thing that was wasted when they integrated basketball players in the game. It just feels like it's half-assed. And it could be done so much better, and it could actually make the game better, and it could actually make these launches feel special and feel like a moment that we should celebrate instead of just another moment within a dead franchise. And maybe I'm being a little too harsh calling Call of Duty a dead franchise, because there are players playing the game, but it's hard to get excited about anything when Activision themselves doesn't do anything to build the excitement. Instead, what they want to do is they want to keep everything under lock and key and just avoid talking about things. And I just don't understand why this is their process. It could be a huge celebration that they integrated the game and collaborated with 21 Savage and Nicki Minaj. It could be something that actually gets some hype behind it, but instead you just have a lot of people that are like, we're doing the same thing that we've always done. We're going to release half-assed content. We're going to release a bunch of operators. We're going to say, oh, look at this cool collaboration. And we're going to do nothing that fixes the game on a large scale. And I think the people in the community are sick and tired of it. I know I am. That's why I haven't played Modern Warfare 2 for months. I refuse to play the game. I refuse to look at this abysmal UI one more time. It's just not fair to the community. And it's gotten to the point now where it's a rinse and repeat situation, and they just don't want to put the effort in to actually steer the franchise into a better direction. But that's it for my commentary today. That's all I wanted to talk about. I want to know, what would incentivize you to purchase the 21 Savage and Nicki Minaj skins? Would it be something like a new song release? Would it be something like better marketing? Would it be something like exclusive content? I don't know, but if it was bundled with other things, it might seem to have a little bit more value than just a simple operator skin that we've seen so many times. So that's it for my video today. That's all I wanted to know. But as always, comment down below what your thoughts are. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.